Got y'all a little farther away today. Let's see. Hey everybody, if you're just jumping on, make sure that, let's see. Make sure that you not only like, but follow. That one, when we have a new video, it'll notify you, or we go live. All right, so let me cut my comments off on here. I got you a little further back, so maybe you can see more of my table. But while we're waiting everybody to jump in, all right, let's see. Who is Trish Fulton? Trish, I need you to send me your address. Go in my inbox and send it to me. I want to send you a little prize. And you were the first one on tonight. Sherry, you didn't send me your, yeah, I'm talking to the computer. Hello, Trish Fulton. Okay, Sherry, you didn't send me your address, so I can send you something. I didn't see anything new. Hey, Angela from Indiana, Helen from Georgia, hey, from Great Lakes, Pensacola, Great Lakes State. All right. Good evening. Hope you're all safe. Hey, from Canada. All right. Michigan, hello, 100 miles from my home. Does that mean like from me? 100-mile house. I don't know what that means. Utah, hey. West Virginia, Mississippi. Hey, Stephanie. Hello, Deborah. I've been waiting. I know I was a few minutes late, y'all. I have been going today. I just came in on like 2 wheels, and I was so hungry, so I'm like, I was gonna like just wolf down this hamburger, which I literally did. Look above her name. Let's see. Does that have to do with? Let's see. Oh, hold on. I don't know. Okay, I'm missing it. Hey, Cian, how are you? I crafted something for my niece today. I will post it on your craft page. Cindy, I'm so glad. Kentucky, Texas. Let's see. Hello on this bad night. Not sure how long can stay. It's not pretty in my neck of the woods, and got more ugly heading our way here in Cartersville, Georgia. Where's Cartersville? North. Okay, because we'd say we're just sunny and hot down here. Do y'all see my cheeks? How red they are. I've been going and going, and you know I don't do so well in the heat. Lakeland, Florida. I live in a 100-mile house. Oh, okay. I'm not, you know, just a blonde moment I read. Good afternoon from Petal, Mississippi. I just did it. I'm sorry I got distracted. It's all right. Hey, Cian, it's Lynn and Monica from Colorado. I'm jealous. When y'all go to Colorado and out me? Thank you so much, Rosemary. Remember, if you're not a member of Cian's Crafters, click on the link and just ask to join. You don't have to fill out any kind of questionnaire, you know, like that. I'm trusting y'all. Y'all, did y'all see Mimi's video? I have another one, and it wouldn't let me post 2 videos at the same time. Chris went inside and brought me up making her wreath on YouTube. So she was sitting there watching it, and he videotaped her watching it. And you know, every time when I'm talking to y'all on my video, when I ask you a question, I'll say, like, you see, it's real simple to do this. She'll go, yep, looks real simple. It's like she's talking back to me. It's really cute. Nifty craft you got up on your sleeve tonight. We're going to make my wreath tonight. Remember last night we were going to make both of our wreaths? But I wanted to show y'all something that I'm super proud of. Look what I made. Now, I'll tell you, you know, pros and cons about this. I told you I was going to practice a couple of times before I did anything. I bought this reed, which came in a roll, and I think it's up on the counter, from Amazon. I think it was maybe like $12, but you just got tons and tons of it. And I was like, you know, there's got to be a catch. Why am I getting tons? Well, the catch is it's extremely flimsy. Like if you see this, like I can move it. It's kind of not cattywampus, but I'll tell you what I didn't do is, like, once you make it like this, you go back and you put another strip on the inside to finish up these edges. And it said to glue it, but I think because mine was a little, still a little damp, because you have to wet it in order to make your tobacco basket. It just really, you know, it just wasn't, if you could see like the glue, it just wasn't getting a good bond. So I looked on another website, and this girl took a little bit of this stuff and she actually almost sewed the other one in. It actually cleaned it up a little bit better. And once you get the other one on, it'll be a little bit more sturdy, but it still is extremely thin. But y'all, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Having it wet made it really, I mean, like it was just, I mean, almost like a ribbon. And like the more it dries, like it's starting to get a little sturdy. But I did order, do you remember I told you I stopped by the furniture place and got the really thick, and it's not so thin this way as far as like the thickness of the wood itself, the reed itself. I found it on, you go on Joann's website, it's like $14.99, and I think you get like 100 feet of it, you know, it's coiled up, and it's just like what I bought from that furniture store. I mean, it looks the exact same. Same dimensions, everything. It's an inch wide, and it's really good. So now that I've kind of got one out of my way, and I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna make one like this. Seems, I'm telling you, these clips make all the difference in the world. So all these little clips that I got right here are going to make it really, really easy. This stuff staples really easy with just like an office stapler. There's no fancy stapler to it. But y'all, I was super proud of my tobacco basket. Now, if you wanted to get this from Amazon, it's 5/8 of an inch. Like I said, it comes in a roll, and it's not in pieces. It's actually like in one continuous roll, so you can get a lot out of it. If you wanted to make one out of, remember we had the thing where you could make it out of paper or cardboard or something? This is gonna be probably just about like that. You can hang it on the wall. It's gonna keep your good shape. You can paint, it's wood. You can paint it, you can stain it. You can actually stain the reed when you put it in the water. Very simple. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Enjoy watching your crafts. Thank you so much, Brenda. That is just awful sweet. This is first try. I cut it. Like I said, if I didn't have those clips, I mean, the girl that was showing it to you, she was holding it down with her shoes on the floor. You know what I mean? But the clips just made it so much better. So each one of these, when you're putting this round part about it, you just clip every one of them up, and then you go back when you have it, you know, spaced just right, you know, how you want it. You move these around, and you just go back around, take the clip off of it, and staple. It was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be, but it is like, you have to be pretty precise when you're measuring your pieces out and you're holding it out. But as far as like weaving it, that was not hard. That took, you know, seconds. I mean, literally seconds. This is probably what took the amount. But I'll have the measurements when I finally do one of these for y'all one night. I'll have the measurements for this, and then I'll have the measurements for the bigger one that I'm going to attempt. But if I can make my own tobacco basket, y'all, that would be so awesome. Enjoy watching you craft. Thank you, from Kentucky. Why is it called a tobacco basket? I'm pretty sure because when they harvest tobacco out of the field, that's what they put it in. Because, you know, when you harvest tobacco leaves, I mean, before they dry out, I mean, a tobacco leaf can be really, really long. So they would put it in those, and you have to have the air up through the basket because you could dry them out in that. They hung them in probably what we would call like a shed now, but they're barns. They hang it upside down, and the leaf would dry. And, you know, I guess, I don't really know the whole process after they dry it in order to make, you know, cigarettes, your pipes, you know, what do like old men call that stuff? I know, like, you know what I mean? Like when they put it in their pipes and it's loose and all that. But I actually have a real like old tobacco basket from when they used to harvest them, and they can be expensive if you don't get them in that area. But like up in like North Carolina and Tennessee, places like that, a lot of times you can get them and they're not as expensive. But like here, if you get them, the big one that I have, I think it ran like about $125. Pipe tobacco. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I know snuff, like for old men, that's the dip stuff, right? But you know, like when an old man had a pipe a long time, you got to think a long time ago that you had to roll your own cigarette. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't give like some farming history here, but I know a tobacco is like, you think like a peach basket. Those baskets that you buy peaches in, you know, like when they go and they harvest like the peaches, and people just love those now. That is a tobacco basket, and it would have been the shape that they would have went around and harvested the tobacco baskets in, because, you know, you had to keep the leaves flat, but you know, of course, when a leaf is green, it's kind of wet, so they have to dry it out. So that's why they have to have the aerated part so it can help it dry. I grew up in Kentucky. Did you pick tobacco as a child? No. But I picked lots of vegetables constantly. When I went to my grandmother's to eat when I was a little girl, I never knew this. You grow up in the country, you don't know what's right. You know, you don't know what you get from the grocery store because you don't go. But we would go to my grandmother's house, and, you know, she'd hand you a basket or a bucket or whatever she had. If it was like Sunday dinner or Thanksgiving, you know, we were all eating at her house, and she had this garden where, you know, they were farmers. So, you know, my granddaddy would leave her this area right behind her house in one of the fields so she could have a humongous garden. Well, I mean, new potatoes, things like that, okra, she would just hand you a basket. And me, as like, I mean, I'm a vegetable lover. I mean, that wasn't like I was going out and getting, I was picking fruit because it was like the world to me. But you always had to have a knife for okra, so I can remember not being able to cut that because you had to have a knife. But pick the cucumbers, because you always had to have cucumbers in vinegar water. Sliced tomatoes with our meal, stewed okra and tomatoes. We would get, like, you dig up the little new potatoes, you go down it. Squash, oh my gosh, the stewed squash, y'all. That is like one of my favorites. Like crookneck squash, you know, so that's just what we did. We went out there and got it. And I guess as a little girl, I think I thought everybody did that, you know, you didn't go to the grocery store and get your vegetables. You go out to the garden and get them. And I think it's kind of spoiled me a little bit now. I have an antique tobacco basket, and yes, you're right. They are beautiful, and kind of the more kind of rickety looking they are, the more I like them, because there's some that like missing a piece or whatever, but they're really durable. I mean, they're like the tobacco basket. The reed on it would be like that thick, so they've held up over time. Prince Albert in a can. I have my, oh gosh, what'd she say? I have my granddad something, great-grandfather's can. Yeah, I mean, they had like, you know, like they put it in the pipe, or they would roll it up in their cigarettes, because, you know, you didn't get an already cigarette. I'm thinking, what year was it? It was in the 40s, oh no, not that late. I mean, long ago, maybe just the 60s or maybe 70s when they started putting filters on cigarettes. You used to get a cigarette and it wouldn't even have a filter on it. That's when you know you were a real smoker, I reckon. But, y'all, that's the funny thing about Chris is, you know how, like, Marlboro cigarettes, the, like, strongest kind, you know, come in that red package? And it's like the Marlboro, man, like, it's strong. And then you have, like, Marlboro Lights that have, like, a gold package. Well, Chris, you know, he's just got such a dry wit, and he can come up with something just on the spot. Well, he loves whole milk. And, you know, whole milk has the red cap on it. 2% has the blue, and so on. And so, for a long time, especially when the girls were little, I would buy 2% because, you know, they would drink so much milk. But, you know, he is my cereal drinker. So as the older they got and they didn't drink as much milk, you know, he would want the whole milk. So he would tell me, he goes, when you go to the grocery store, buy me that Marlboro milk. Like, I want the whole thing. So that's just still a thing for us, as he always says. Cynthia still buys me Marlboro milk because we drink whole milk here, which I don't ever drink it that much, but they drink it constantly. Okay, now, I really like the oval shape that I used of Mimi's, but I've got this good grapevine that's, you know, it's a pretty good size circle, and I never use it. And the oval is just it's probably the same length. It just doesn't go out as wide. Well, I got this carrot, and I got this carrot from Carolina Pottery. I paid $14.99 for it. Now this on its own could be a wreath all by itself. It's just like the rabbit last night. It's made out of that old meshy stuff that's constantly falling apart. But they've sprayed, y'all. It's not a paint. It's actually like some kind of like little leafy, that they've actually sprayed on the wire, and they wrapped it up. And then they put a little bit of the green on the top. Now you see it's got a pocket on the inside. So you really could just do this as a wreath by itself. Maybe put a little something in it. I'm going to put a little bow right here at the top, but I don't want to put any kind of greenery up. It'll cover up the top of the carrot, which I think is great. I'm going to put it on this side, just like I did Mimi's. And we're really going to kind of work with Mimi's a little bit like we did the one last night. Except it'll be a little bit wider, and I can actually put a little bit more greenery, or I can put a little bit more ribbon on mine because I've got a little bit more space than I did on her oval one. All right, so we'll put this to the side because we really, just like hers, we don't really have to do anything to it, unlike hers where we had to put the cloth on it. So we'll be able to start right away on our wreath. And listen, y'all, you can tell when I just reuse these. Look, I still have probably the hook. I must have hung it with, that's stuck in here. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out, but I will get it out. And it's got pipe cleaners all over it. All right, trashy can. Where is my trash can? I don't see it. All right. So we're gonna put our Oasis on it, and I'm gonna put a different one on this one. Last night we used the green. To me, it's softer Oasis. I mean, you can get it a little wet, but to me, it doesn't soak up the water as well as like the darker, nice Oasis. But this is meant for like dry flowers, silk flowers, artificial flowers. And I like this size, not too big, but I do want to cut it in half. That way I'll be able to use the other half for something else, but I definitely don't need it that big. But I'm gonna do it a little bit bigger than half. And this is a little bit harder than the one, like the green ones are softer. Oh, one more side. Let me see if I got something a little bit thicker. I think I have a knife that'll go out further. Let me see if I can just use this. There we go. Gotta use your old noggin. Use the things you have. Wow, is your door strong enough? Yes, I think it'll hold it. Hope so, but it's not that. And that, you know, that stuff they're making now is definitely not. It's looking like this is a pretty wide piece right now, and I like that. That way when I lash it to it, it'll be, ooh, and I've got all these ones I just took off of here. Reuse your supplies, y'all. I haven't used a round wreath in a long time. I've got one I just really like, that shape of the oval shape. Where's your foam cutter? It's over here on my card. And yes, I would have cut right through it, but maybe if we were cutting more, I would have used it. But I probably wasn't going to take it out just to do that. Y'all, you know how obsessed I was with it. We haven't used that in a long time, have we? When you say big, you mean big, huh? Yes. I just made 30-inch grapevine wreath last weekend. Oh, man. I don't even know what this is, but it's probably about that size. All right. We'll let it cut into this, bite into it last night like we did on the other one. Now, if you ever find yourself now, like, you know how I put a ton of stuff in our, and I don't need this, but I'm going to do it just to show you because I've got a lot of little extra ones up here. If you're going to put a lot of weight on it, you know, this doesn't look like it's going to move side to side, but you don't ever know. You don't want anything to droop. But if you are going to use and you think you need something that comes out a little bit more, you're kind of going to make it maybe a little top heavy. So just take your pipe cleaners and you can go up and down too. That way you can stable it where, you know, nothing will sag after you've had it on there a while if you think you need to do that. Like I said, it doesn't matter how many you put on here. You know, if you want to use a longer piece, if you think it needs it, just, you know, you just put another down there. I mean, sometimes I see wreath makers, they use a lot of this stuff. You know, they'll put like, you know, 2 of these right there. If I thought I needed it, I could just take that other piece because, you know, it doesn't matter if you have pieces and put it right there. I don't know what I did with it. I think I took it right there. Just take this piece, even though it's smaller, you probably want to cut them the same, and just put it right next to it and lash it on too, because you're not going to see your form. I mean, I would say always keep your form really neat because it'll just make your life easier when you're working with it, not to have something that's weeble wobbly and not really stable, because then your picks are going to move and you're not going to get them in the position you want to. So, I mean, take your time on getting your base where you want it. And it'll make, you know, all your stuff, you know, a lot easier. All right, just like on Mimi's, we're going to put our greenery on here first. But our flowers and stuff are going to be a little bit different because of the color. I'm just using, I'm going to throw a little bit of yellow in mine and white, but mainly I'm doing greenery as far as the majority of mine will be green because the carrot is so big and it has that color in it. Gosh, maybe I ate that burger too fast. Y'all would have seen me. It was like a starving man that had, during the apocalypse, that had not eaten. Buffy was like, Mama, what are you doing? I'm like, I just want to eat before I go on here. I'm hungry, and I don't want to, you know, I didn't want to rush because I knew I'd be hungry. But it really was like, you know, I was eating my last supper. All right, let's see. Love your projects, always interesting. Thank you so much. Boyfriend has some trees to cut for firewood, and there was grapevine in the top, so I made 4. Oh my gosh, do you like soak it? Don't you like soak it like the reed, what we were talking about with the back, and then you just kind of, some people I've seen, they put nails on a board and they use those nails and they just keep going round and round while it's wet, and they say when it dries it'll just stay in that form. But you know, I don't know anything about making grapevine. I don't even think I have anything like that. All right, now here's a bunch of little pieces that I probably cut off in other projects, but I don't think I'm gonna need any of that till right at the end to cover up my base. All right, just like before, let's do a little sweeping. Now I may make mine a little bit, you know, Mimi's was more, you know, the bows and the pink. Mine, I'll probably put a little bit more greenery on mine than I do hers. So I'm gonna probably leave this so it'll go out the length of it. Look at that, y'all. I'm not even turning my thing on. Ugh. I'm just having a day. I was helping somebody out tonight and time got away from me. I came into the house on 2 wheels, Saw how excited Mimi was when she saw that beautiful wreath you made her last night. What a sweetheart you are. You made her day. Oh my gosh. Do you see her when she walked around the corner? She's like, oh, they get better and better every time. I mean, she's just a sweetheart. I mean, she just, you know, when somebody like that has memory lapse, and it always, I always say it, when you constantly have to do stuff for them. But it makes it worth it because they forget that maybe you've done it before. So they're so appreciative. I mean, she's just like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got a wreath on my door, which she always has one. But like I said, it's like Christmas morning, you know, every time. So it makes it worth it when you have to, like every day when Chris, you know, makes her supper and puts it out. Or she'll call and say, you know, what am I doing for supper tonight? And he says, you know, Mimi, I'll be there in a couple of hours, or I'll be there in an hour, you know, and I'm going to cook you this, or I'm bringing you this. I mean, she's like, oh, I'm getting a treat tonight. So, I mean, it just makes it so much easier to do so much for her because she's so appreciative of it. All right, let's see. If I carrot, it's going to be a little bit bushier on the top because, you know, we got all that top going on, and it's going to come down to a point. So I'm going to be smaller at the bottom. So I'm going to put a little bit more at the bottom. Maybe we'll put more tails on our ribbon because, like I said, we need the bottom to be kind of as busy as we'll make the top. Throw a bow on my welcome bunny board earlier today. Kind of cute, I guess, but put a bow on it. What did you end up doing? Like a messy bow? I think you were nervous about a bow. Y'all don't be nervous. You can make a messy bow this big. Just cut it longer. So don't think you have to make messy bows tiny. You can make them huge. Sometimes, but this was still green, so I just twisted and wrapped. You can soak them and shape to an oval and tie it off till it dries. That's pretty cool. I don't like grapevine. Like, y'all, what is grapevine? Is that something you plant? Is it like wisteria? Is it wild? You know, you hear all about it. And, you know, we have a gentleman that makes them in our town, and the vines will be that big. They're beautiful. But I always think, you know, does he live like by the creek and it grows or something? I don't know. All right, so let's see. If I push that in, I like the way that's going to flow. So, yeah, I'm not going to cut any length off of here. And, y'all, my gun still isn't warm. Come on, beauty. All right. What else can I do while I'm here? Maybe I can lash the carrot on here because see how at the bottom, let me move it over here a little bit more. See, at the bottom, it's going to narrow and it's going to be pointy and smaller. So we've got a lot going up here. So on the curve of our greenery that I'm going to put on here in our bow, I think I'm going to put it even. Or let me look at this, y'all. It's hard to show y'all, and then like I'll turn around and go, ooh, I don't like that. Okay. All right, I like it right there. So just like last night, I'm gonna get my little wire out. That jute covered, jute covered wire. No, yeah, covered wire. And I'm gonna probably do it right here and right over on the top, and I'm just gonna let it hang down. I think if we could secure it right here, it's not gonna go anywhere. Oh my word, that carrot is enormous. Where did you find it? I found it at Carolina Pottery. It's really a wreath making store here in the ground. I think they sell everything, but it is a wreath maker's dream store because they have wreaths, y'all. I mean, you can go in there and get wreaths in any color. It's just weird. I mean, in crazy colors, you know, like a wire wreath, and it'll have like the Christmas like little tree pipe cleaners all the way around it, and you can just tie your stuff all the way. They'll have those in multiple colors. It's crazy. Every ribbon known to man. The picks, Lord, the picks. All right, so, and this looks like the grapevine. So even though I'm doing it over here and cutting it off, I can just bend it back and kind of like a pipe cleaner that matches. I think I have enough to do the other side, this small little bit. But isn't that carrot beautiful? And like I said, it's big enough that you could probably just do a wreath just out of the carrot. But you know, girl, you know I gotta have, like, it's springtime. I gotta have a wreath up on the door that's got everything in it. Just got here. What did I miss? Nothing much. I am tying my wreath, I mean my carrot that I'm going to use on my wreath. And waiting on my hot glue gun that I did not turn on. And I'm lashing we already put the little oasis, the dry oasis down. Let me see out of this little bitty piece, y'all. I won't do the bottom. I figure I got these little pieces. Hey, Sin and everybody, looks like I haven't missed much. I have wild grapevines growing in my backyard. Have never made a wreath with it, but may have to. Yes, girl, go on YouTube. They have a video on how to make anything you want to make on YouTube. And probably with grapevine wreaths, as popular they are, and as long as they've been around, there's probably multiple ones how to make a grapevine wreath. Let's see if I can find one of these wires. You think after as tiny as it is down the end, I would find something I can get behind. Ooh, there we go. But yes, that's pretty cool. I wish I had some that I could make me some, but now I'm just, but I don't know why, because I have this one and my oval one, and I haven't needed another one. Unless somebody wanted to bring me one to make for them. I think that's usually what I say is, listen, I got plenty of ribbon. Just bring me the wreath. There it is. Oh, this is kind of tedious. It's probably because this piece is so short. I'm just trying to use up this little piece of wire I had left. Wear gloves. It can work havoc on your hands. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about for making the wreaths. My neighbor makes the grapevine trees in all sizes. Oh, you got like the best neighbor ever. Y'all, this stuff constantly falls apart. All right, let's see. I think we got enough here. So see, I just put a little bit down there what I had left over, but I don't think it's not even moving. So we got our carrot. Now we're gonna add our stuff to it. And y'all, I think I am gonna need this other piece. Does that not look like it's kind of wide? Yep. I don't want it to be off center. I'm only going to do this one time because I've got the bottom, though, and that would make it not go anywhere, and this one will keep it on the wreath. Let me make sure, though, before I say that. I'm not used to round. I'm used to just like that oval little side. Nope. Let's do one more. All right, wear gloves. My neighbor, my brother-in-law makes grapevine wreaths. Oh my gosh, y'all are lucky. I have a man here who actually lives in a little town over from us that makes them and brings them. And I mean, you can buy them, and they're like those real thick ones. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that's the ones y'all get. I only have like one big one, y'all. How? I think I need to soak it in some water. It almost looks like it's about to dry rot. I mean, it doesn't look like it's gonna fall apart, but it looks like I could probably crush it with my foot. It's like really big. It stays up on the side of my house. Okay. Yep, I think that's gonna be perfect. And I'll just put my bow in it and we'll put our stuff up here. Okay, greenery. Back to where we were. Okay, we're gonna put this here. We're gonna go with the curve of the wreath. So we're only gonna put one here, but we're gonna put two up top. And I like the length. Last night I cut Mimi's and made her shorter with that oval wreath. I didn't have this much like real estate to work with, but now I do. Putting it in slightly at an angle because, like I said, I want it to go with the curve of the wreath. Okay, that was one. Okay, then you can see this side good. All right. We'll put two up top, but only one at the bottom because I want the bottom. The bottom is not as much like real estate on my bow. Let's see. Don't want to cross over. Think so. And remember, when you put your wreath in here, when you put your picks and stuff in your styrofoam, commit. Like right now, if I didn't like where that is, I would suggest just bend them over. You don't want to start pulling stuff out, breaking it loose, because the best thing to do is just take it off and get you a whole nother piece. All right, so we did those two pieces at the top. This, I think I want to be a little bit shorter. Yep. Let me take a little bit off there. And remember to try to cut them in those little divots they already give you because the wire is already a little crimped right there, and it's a little bit easier, especially on these bigger ones like this. There we go. All right, and I've got some more pieces of this. I like this that we used last night, but I'm thinking carrot. I'm thinking like more bushy than let me put the filters in. Hold on. Thinking more kind of like how a carrot does on the top, little bushier. All right, and this just gonna fill in. Ugh, and this one is harder to push in. I like that green stuff better. And this, my main goal, or what I'm doing right now, is just to kind of fill in, to cover up my little oasis blocks. I've got like a bigger block area wise. All right, so I'm staying with the curve of the wreath, like going this way. And this is the same thing, it's just shorter. Oop. Let's see, I had an issue with birds making nests in my wreath. I put the long top cocktail sticks in the wreath, poking side up and bunch together. That way, if they land, they get poked and they don't come back. Listen, we had like this little house wren, was it, Chris, that made a nest right in our wreath, y'all, that we come in this door constantly all day. So how this poor little thing thought these little eggs were gonna make it. Well, of course, Buff was taking them out. They hatched. They were falling out on my mat. She was putting them back in there. And then, of course, our cats found them. So it was in the story. And it was super sad. But how this thing would put a nest right on my door. But I don't usually have to worry about birds as much as wasps. My big grapevine that I was saying that I have up on the side of my house, wasps love to build nests in it. And that's just, ugh, we hate wasps. How was Mimi, Chris?
Fairly middling.
How's your parents?
Fairly middling.
All right. I bet they were glad you brought them a hamburger.
Yeah. I'm gonna run the second to yeah.
Okay. And y'all, guess what? Guess who is coming home tonight? My stir baby will be here in a little while. You know, Neely too. Love her, but my little fur grandbaby will be here. I'm so excited to see that sweet girl. Nana has missed her. Missed spoiling her. I got her Easter basket already because they won't be able to come home for Easter. I don't know why I hadn't asked. You know, there's some things you don't try to ask. You want to know why, but, you know, for some reason she said she could. I think she said maybe she's got a wedding that weekend in Atlanta. But I'm like, really? Who has a wedding on Easter weekend? I'll wrap grapevine around tomato cages for cute trees. Yes, that would be so cute. All right, y'all, I'm just putting some around the edge. And even though they're kind of going out, I'm still putting them at an angle to keep that round. All right, you going home? Bye. Be careful. I'm still putting them in here. Like if I'm doing the bottom, I'm still for the curve. And then the top, I'm putting them in, you know, at this angle. And these are just kind of filler pieces. And I'll show you, because I think, no, I need some more on that side. Because this is the part I used to mess up on a wreath. As I was in the store and I was like, oh, you got to pick up all these flowers. And yes, the flowers are like your, you know, like a main focal point. But there, you got to have like filler stuff. And the more I started doing fillers, to me, the prettier my wreaths were. They weren't ugly before. But, you know, sometimes they just didn't look like, it wouldn't look like what I was really going for. And I may have to add some more, but I think that's going to be enough. All right, so see, we've got our, you know, fillers going up and fillers going down. And so far, we only have green on it. All right, so let me put that back where you can see it. Sprinkle cinnamon or spray mint on them to defect the birds. Yes, and I heard they don't like paprika. They're like, if you have bird feed, no, okay, so you don't want birds. It's the squirrels that don't like paprika. So you can sprinkle paprika on your bird seed. Suppose these squirrels in Georgia, they know how to run down power lines. Like ropes, like, you know, they'll go, ooh, put it on a sandwich line, a clothesline. You know, put your bird feeder in that, and the squirrels can't get to them. The squirrels in Georgia, tightrope walkers, they're professionals. All right, so let's put a little bit of this. What do you call this stuff? Eucalyptus. I think it's pretty. I think it got it last year, and I didn't use the first piece of it. My sister used to have one of these big trees in her yard. But, you know, it wouldn't, I guess maybe that's why she had to cut down, because it didn't ever make pretty little things like this. Which that one right there looks like it kind of went through Vietnam a little bit. Ugh. Let's put that one to the side. All right. I always try to keep stuff bundled as much as I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And I'm just going to add a little bit of these to it. So we're just going to snip them off and keep the little stems long. Y'all know me. This is my personal wreath, so I want to put me a bow on it. So I leave my greenery or my picks and stuff longer, so they'll be further away, so they won't get covered up by my bows. But Mimi loved her color today, which I don't think, even if she ever didn't like it, she probably wouldn't say, "Ooh, that's ugly." Yeah, that just gives it a little bit of different color. A little bit of that like chalky white that's on like a eucalyptus piece. I'm gonna just put 3 up top. Still going at that angle. Remember, y'all, to follow that angle. You are so brilliant. It amazes me to see what you can do. Oh, girl, it's practice, practice. Trust me, I have made some wreaths that, you know, that even Mimi probably wouldn't hang up at her house. You know, you try and you get it all done, and you're like, and then I'll have to change it up to make it look okay. It'll look entirely different than what I planned on doing it. But, I mean, it really, this, a long time ago, I would have never thought. I don't know if you do it right now, but I would go to like any kind of flower store, whether it's Walmart, you know, craft store, Hobby Lobby, whatever. And, you know, the first thing you want to go is like, okay, I want my wreath to have white flowers in it. So, I mean, I would pick up and probably spend way too much money on all these white flowers. I mean, I would go and buy like, you know, just get a huge bundle of stuff like this. And come home and you start putting it on it, and it just looks like you got a wreath of just white flowers. You know what I mean? And I would look at other wreaths and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I had to talk to a florist once, and it was actually the way they do like real flowers is they start off with all their greenery in there, and then they add the highlights. What she said, they add highlights to it. Because the highlights is like mainly what color you want. So like right now I'm thinking this is all my greenery, and it's covered up all the wreath, and it's shaped it and given my form, and now I'm gonna put my color in there, and you really don't have to have as much of this color. Now y'all, one of my favorite plants is forsythias. And I really wanna put these forsythias in here. I got this one at the Dollar Tree one time, they had this. And then these two I got at Walmart. And, you know, forsythias, you know, has that long weeping bush. Stalk. So I really just kind of want to do like one piece that goes further than my greenery just a little bit. Kind of like so to shape it. Hold on, you can see the bottom better. So at the bottom, just a little bit beyond, and I probably should have done it first, a little bit beyond my greenery, like so. And that's gonna be my touch of yellow. So if I wanted to go that far, I need to put it right there. And they're really good weeping plant filler. I mean, you get like such a long, but you have to have a really big, you know, cylinder container or something to put this in if you use the long stalk that they give you. But that's just how they grow, so I guess that's why they give you such long stalk pieces. But this is my favorite plant. I love it when it blooms. Ow! It blooms, you know, before the leaves come out. I love all that. Like right now, crab apples and the cherry trees. All right, I should have done this first. I see you, friend. Okay. So then I want to burn myself again like old times. Okay. So I still got my flow. I've just got that at the end. And I'm going to do the same thing with the top. And this one from the Dollar Tree, it's a little bit more yellow than the other one, but not I think enough that I don't have them so close that you can't tell. There's like a piece of string on here. But I think I need to use this up and use, because I've already bent like the stalk up. I think I had it in like a little milk jug or something. Something country, I'm sure. All right, let's see. Love forsythia, so airy and light. Yes, I love it. Full Buffy, she manicured my forsythias back last year. But it's so full and bushy now. All the leaves are coming out on it because it got really hot here. And back in like early February, like for about 3 or 4 days, and my blooms tried to come out. And I wondered if it was gonna bloom normal, and it's kind of like it started blooming and the leaves coming out at the same time. So now you really can't see the blooms anymore because the leaves have all come out on it. All right, so I'm gonna put this one down in the bottom so it'll curve over, and I'll be able to show you, but it's just the hint of it at the top, just like on the bottom piece. I mean, y'all, and there's nothing that says you can't do a wreath with just your greenery. Like right now, I could leave this green and put like a real pretty bow that has all this orange in it, and I think it would be just as pretty. Like, see, I put them where it's kind of just a hint coming out the bottom and the top of the forsythia, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this white in it, just a hint, and then we're gonna put a bow on it, and we'll be done with Sin's wreath. All right, so I did get these, but I don't think, which I like this. I forgot I grabbed this better, and I got this, I'm pretty sure, at Walmart. Yes, I did. It's called Yellow Heather, and it was just 97 cents. But sometimes I pick things up, y'all, and it could have been like a year, it could have been 2 years ago, or it could have been last month. So I'm not really sure. Let me get the better color on there for you. All right, so let's see. Do I like the daisy? That looks more summery, the daisy. So let's do this, and let's see how many we got. We got, come on. These are melted together when they were made. Well, maybe we'll just leave them together. They were like little Siamese twins. We don't need to separate them. We'll do one down here, one there. All right, so we're gonna do, ooh, but I do not like that. I don't like whatever this leaf, like sometimes I don't like the leaves on stuff. It's like it was an afterthought. Like this one has whatever this is right here that doesn't even, and then this part has this, and then this one has both. So we're gonna take that off of there. I don't even know what that was. And we'll stick these in grease. Sometimes less is better. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, like a bow can be just as much color as like one big flower. So yeah, you don't always have to, you know, stick like all this color in it. And that's where I went wrong a long time ago. You know, when I was, you know, I'd have these wreaths that just, I mean, they weren't ugly. They were just, they weren't what I envisioned in my head. Okay. All right, let me put one right here. And I'm making these a little bit longer because, you know me, my bow is going to take so much, so that's why they're going out a little bit longer. And I've got to take this one apart. None more to take off. See, these are stuck to it. The other ones were sliding. I need it apart. I need you apart, my friend. Okay. When these are facing down, I'm definitely going to put a little glue on them so they won't fall out on me. And then we'll keep that one. Put my little glue on it. And y'all, the ribbon I have on this is kind of out there for me, but we're going with it. And no looking back. Y'all gonna be so proud of me. It's like the girl who was scared of color, but not anymore. Okay, let's see. my little trash can. I don't know what I did with it. I know I emptied it last night. Okay. Put all my little stuff over here. Get these scissors out. Okay. And I'll let y'all see what it looks like. I think it looks really good. So, we've got our, y'all said I look weird in the inside of this. Hold on. So we've got like our whole bottom here with our hint of yellow, and then the top still going around our curve like so. Okay. I almost wish I had brought a little bit of yellow out, but I don't think I'm gonna bring that into my ribbon. All right, hold on, I missed that as a long thing. I wish I could make wreaths, but our family has a superstition. If anyone in the family does, someone dies, and it's true, I made one for a friend and sent it to as soon as I done, didn't even hang, and mom died a month later, then 8 more of my family. Oh my gosh. 8 more people died, oh my God. Within 8 months. I thought 8 more people that month. So call me crazy. I will never make one again. I love them, but no taking any more chances. But do you mean just you making one? Like if you buy one, is that okay? Because after you finish this huge wreath, is anyone going to be able to get to the door, Darlene? Yes. And this will be the main door that we all come in. Yeah. They'll, you know, I like force them all. I don't give them an option to say, do you like it or not? I'll go, oh my gosh, isn't this beautiful? So then they know I love it. So they don't say, no, mama, it's ugly, or it's too big, it's too gaudy. You know, I think, Darlene, I need to move to Texas, because y'all said everything's bigger in Texas. And I love some big wreaths, big projects, big everything. Okay, so look at this ribbon, y'all. Okay, it's a bunny rabbit that has buffalo check. I got this from, I'm pretty sure Pottery. Carolina Pottery. Yeah. Look at that. I love it. Okay, and then that's kind of like a little focal point ribbon. Then I have this other one, and I think we used this on one of our little messy bows. The truck. We use this on the truck. And it's just a black and white stripe. So I'm going to bring a little black in here. You know, because my colors. So I've got just it's kind of like a linen or a burlap color and black stripe, a solid black one. And then I have this other carrot that I think I got at Carolina Pottery too. And I have not used. It is just like a linen with carrots on it. And then I've got this buffalo check, and then I got out, this is the only pieces left that I have of this polka dot. So I either can use it or I can't. It may have too short of pieces or something in it. So, y'all ready for our bows? And then of course, let's see. Last night I put my favorite bow in Mimi's wreath, and thank goodness I can keep it when I get it back from her, because you can't even see it in the wreath. I mean, you can see a hint of it. How's the lighthouse coming? I didn't do anything on the lighthouse day. I had to go help somebody that their rehearsal dinner is tomorrow for a big wedding, and I had to take all my plants and ferns and all that stuff that's been sitting out there. That's why I was sweating so much, unloading and loading the truck up. Chris had a ton of stuff to do, so he couldn't help me. I think I need at least my sand. I don't know about that sand. I have the white in there, so I don't need to bring in some white. But maybe instead of the sand, I can bring in this burlap. Yeah, we need something for a little base on the background. Are the ribbons always wired? I prefer a wired ribbon because I can manipulate it where I want it to go. Even my little tiny ribbons, I prefer them. But they're all, I think even this is wired. Yeah, they're all wired. I just always look for that and stuff. And sometimes all of their fall stuff at Dollar Tree, it was all wired this year. Their fall collection was awesome. Christmas, not at all. I mean, even their glitter ribbon that they had that was like this wide did not have wire in it. I've started buying fall and pumpkin printed ribbon. I know. Chris, I think, would kill me if I said I was buying ribbon. All right, so we're probably just going to make around the same little bow style that we made for Mimi. I'm going to cut all my ribbon real quick and put it on there. But I don't think I'm going to do any ribbon tails on her. I did a lot of greenery. So I may put a ribbon, like, you know, a little tail up there on the carrot, but I may just leave it plain. You never know. Did you get your tractor? Chris went to get it today, and the backhoe finally came in. See, I guess I'm kind of tractor dumb. I thought, you know, like when we go on the tractor we have now, you know, like if you want to go put the bush hog on it, you go and you back up and they hook it up and, you know, you do it, which I don't do it, Chris does it. And, you know, you're all set to go. But supposedly when you buy a new tractor, they have to hook the hydraulics up and for, I guess, what you plan on doing with it. Man, I mean, who ain't gonna hook something up to a tractor? It seems like they have all that ready to go. So they had everything ready to go for the other parts that we're getting on it. But the backhoe is what we've been waiting on, which is, I don't know if y'all don't know about tractors. That's that like big scoop thing. I had this big scoop thing that you see on the back of like a big tractor. Some of ours, you know, it's gonna be like to mint for our tractor. It's not gonna be huge. But that's what a backhoe, that's what we've been waiting a week and a half for. The tractor, I think, came in like Monday or last Friday. So they went ahead and hooked up all the other stuff that they needed. And so today they got the backhoe, and he went back in the back because he knows all those people that work there, all those guys that work there. And he was like, so what's it looking like? And he goes, I'll probably have it ready for you in the morning. So he's got to take his daddy to the doctor tomorrow morning, and I think they're going to deliver it. They are. And I was picking on him. I have to go help with this wedding, so I will not be here. But I was picking on him because I said, when I get off of work at 12 o'clock, I said, I'll come home and, you know, practice some stuff on the tractor. And so, you know, I can tell you how it runs and all that. And he was like, you don't need to get on that tractor. He was so worried that Buffy and even Buffy piped in and said, oh, yeah, Daddy, I mean, y'all got to teach me how to drive it. And you could think he was just sitting there looking at us like, he didn't want anybody touching his tractor, but he can fit. Now, this is a little thin. I mean, not to say cheap, but this is a little thin than what I'm used to. But it looks like thinner is lots of times easier to work with. But it's thinner than I thought it was. Did you need a touch of yellow? No, that's what I was just saying is, do I need some yellow? But I put the flowers in there, all yellow, so I didn't bring any. But I think I have some yellow burlap, some sunflower, that real pretty sunflower one that we've used before. But there's certain colors, you know, I don't buy, and that's what I keep telling myself, is that I need to buy colors like that just for fillers. Quit, you know me, I'm going, ooh, you know, that color's just not me. And not getting it, but there's some colors that I need to just get. But I can't remember. I'd have to go back there and look. I know I have some like striped ribbon that has a bunch, like some Fiesta colors in it with yellow, but I don't think I have but maybe just one burlap that has just some yellow in it. Hey Jane, oh no, she thinks his tractor is sexy. Yeah, listen, I was thinking today, remember when we were talking about that movie, Something to Talk About? And remember that part y'all reminded me on with the old aunt says, when he comes out on that horse and she looks at her sister and says, it's just a man on a horse. You know, so I was thinking earlier, that's just my man, my tractor. When Chris comes around his tractor, I'll have to be like, that's just a man on a tractor. Yep, that's John Deere. She thinks my tracks say, does it say John Deere or does it not say John Deere? Okay, so we have everything we're gonna use. Let's make sure. See if I got anything over here that I want to use that I don't have in there. No, but you know what I think I want to do is do me a tail. I'm gonna laugh out of this and the black, because I'm gonna put those on the back. This is just gonna, like we added tails to Mimi's last night. That's what we're gonna do with these. Hey Jane, hey Sin, I'm late. I will watch the replay. Yes, I'm sorry. But this one hadn't been anything kind of like Mimi's. Remember we like, matter of fact, y'all, it seems like we, 8:42. What have I been doing for? Oh, I was a little late when I came home. And then we chit-chatted at the beginning, didn't we? That song is going to be stuck in my head now, Buffy. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Okay. The black and all that is going to be a background for me. And I try to, y'all, and I try not to do it too, like, you know, solid, then I try not to be too selective, like you think you're supposed to like do it random. But there's certain colors that I'm probably gonna want in the back that I just want you to see like a hint of. And I think that's what we're gonna do with our black. Let it be our background. Let me start this. How? Because I can actually do this one bigger than mine. There's a tail. I don't think I want to do that one big in the background. Okay, now this is the one that I'm probably the most scared of. I would probably say more this one. Yeah, I think I'm more scared of this one. Okay, and this is a ribbon that, you know, you don't always have to turn your tail. If you start like this, like I don't have to really turn my tails with this black. It's the same on either side. But this one, I'm gonna have to turn my tail just because, and I'll show you why. When I pinch it, see the tail is the back side. So go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that one and do this one up instead of both of them down. Twist this one, and this one is automatically gonna be correct, and it's gonna be going down in the opposite. Like this is going up, this is going down on the opposite side. Okay, not so scared of. Okay, now we can get to some that I won't be so scary on. Okay, this one, like I said, I can turn it over if I'm really worried about it, but it's the same, and it's a little bit harder to turn burlap. It's a thicker ribbon, so I'm not gonna turn that. Little things like that, you just kind of have to know your ribbon and know what you're practicing with. Like, you know, like if that, it bothers you, just turn it, but you know, burlap ribbon this is like a good thick ribbon. So the less I have to turn it, the more less I'll have in my hand. Okay, then definitely super scared of this. Chris, that's the kind of bows I have to hide from him. Because he'll say, why you got that? Okay, another one. That's the back side of the ribbon. So I'll turn it. It's coming like, say, for y'all up, for me, you know, close to me. Flip this side. Oops. This one I could make a little bit longer. Flip it. Flip this one. A tail. Cut that one a little bit longer, but still okay. So you got your tail, and then we have this one coming up towards me on the opposite side. Y'all, I'm kind of iffy about this one. This is this white. Y'all, Buffy, what do you think about this? Should I leave this out?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think you should just put a white in there.
What if I did like the polka dot? I forgot about this. I like a polka dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I could deal with the polka dot more. Let's see, and it's already dovetailed on this end, so. I think if I had more white on it, that would, because it's the white that's really scared me. Chris would have a problem with the fact that it's the the Tennessee orange. Wait to see it finished. What's Buffy eating? Buffy, they hear you eating. What you eating?
Corn.
She's eating some corn. Buffy, that is, when it comes to eating, that's probably, she's a whole lot closer to me just because she loves her vegetables. You know, Chris doesn't eat vegetables, so when they were little, he would not give it to them. So at first, like her sister, who eats like her daddy, very, very picky, she would say, I don't like that, Mama. And I was like, okay. And then, like, if she got really, like after school or something, if she got really hungry, she would come up if I was cooking asparagus or something like that and say, Mama, what you eating? And I was like, asparagus. You know, I'm kind of snacking on it because nobody's going to eat it at the dinner table while I'm cooking it. And I really love this ribbon. That stripe is just so pretty. And she would say, okay, she's so hungry. Let me taste it. And she would taste it and love it. So then I had to start sharing my asparagus. And then it went to broccoli and everything else. I think you probably don't like cabbage as much as I do. She doesn't like cabbage. I like cabbage any way I can get it. That's one of my favorites. But
Get an egg roll.
yeah, but that if you like it stir fried, but like I just like stewed cabbage. You know, when I'm cooking stewed cabbage, she comes in like, oh my gosh, Mama, they stinking the whole house up. But cabbage is one of my absolute favorites. Okay, y'all, I'm loving it. And then we'll put our tails on to bring some more of that black into it. Ooh, my hand is hurting. Like the different patterns. Yeah, I like that. I like bringing that buffalo check, y'all. You know, you can get it in everything. You kind of used to think it was just a fall thing, but now you can get buffalo check something for summer. Any time of the year. Because, you know, you never think you'd see it at Easter because it's always been those pastel colors. That's why, I mean, I really like the orange. But more people are using that now because the pastel colors are certainly not me. I'm scared of that color. Y'all know me. Hold on, let me get this a little bit tighter. Especially like the purples and, no, I don't, those are not my colors. All right, so we got our, you know, ribbon ends going up this way. And that black one was pretty short. All those going up that way. And then we can put our bow this way, and then we got all our tails from this side coming down. And they're longer. So I'll probably tilt my ribbon, you know, at that angle for those longer ones. So there we go. And hopefully it's gonna cover up my my Oasis, and we don't have to add any more to it. Chris, look on your Find a Friends and see how far for Neely will be here. Angeli, oh, you love cabbage. I do too. Like, yeah, have you ever tried like the cabbage soup diet where you make like this cabbage stew? It's got carrots and they're like, ooh, this pot will last you eat a cup right now and then eat a cup. I'm like, no, I could eat the whole pot in one day, huh?
Any minute.
Any minute, okay. Well, I'm just about done, so I'll be able to hug my little baby when she comes in the door. And I'm talking about Sterling. All right, so I really like that stripe. It's really my color, but it's still bold. All right, so this is gonna be more at the top and this is gonna be out the bottom, so this way. And I'm just gonna kind of pinch it to help get it in this like long little ribbon. Pipe cleaner monstrosity I have going on back here. But yes, you know the cabbage soup diet, and it was like, ooh, eat this bowl of soup right here. Like, that's not a diet, something like that for me. The amount, I guess, was a diet because it said eat like a cup now and a cup for supper for the next 4 days. You know, and when your soup runs out, make another. I'm not kidding you. I could eat that whole pot in one day, especially when that's all you're having is cabbage soup. I'm like, you know, can you eat all you want? I was like sending them notes, can you eat all? No. I'm like, so pretty much I'm eating the soup and I'm gonna be hungry. All right, we might have to put a little greenery right here. I can see the white a little bit right here. All right. But I like my tails. I like the black on there. You know, I know a lot of people don't like black, but that's just what I can live with. So I'm gonna go with my creature comforts. Love cabbage, fried cabbage. Listen, my newest thing is cabbage steaks. You know, where you cook it in the oven with just some olive oil and lots of salt. And that's another thing. You can't use all avocado oil. I love cooking with avocado oil, especially sauteing things, but for whatever reason, you can't make the tomatoes with the feta cheese with that, and you can't do the cabbage steaks with it. Stick to olive oil. All right, so we got to have a couple more of these little things. I can see a little bit of my white coming through. Just on like probably the top little portion of where my bow separates. So, but it's not gonna be anything to cover it up. Especially with these little pieces like this. I've got my little, what do you call them? Floral pins over here. I can pin. I really could pin the ribbon probably. I'm just thinking about it now and cover this up, but I don't want to, you know, make my ribbon some weird shape just trying to cover up something I can cover up with this greenery. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this black bow. I got a floral pin, and hopefully I'm not ripping my bows up. They'll come straight out and just have two little poke holes in them. Let me get one more right here. And then that little place is all bundled up. Somebody's here. Come here, my dumpling. Come over here.
Just CBJ.
Yeah, come here, stir baby. Y'all, my stir baby is here. Come here. Come here, that Nanny's baby. Come here. Where you going?
Look, he's right
Come along. All right, well, I'm almost finished. Okay. So let's make sure our tails are turned the right way, and to keep those forward, I'm gonna stick a floral pin in those just so they don't you know, flip and turn, they'll stay right. So we'll do the same thing with these. That way we don't have to do anything with the bottom, the little flaps here on all our other little ribbon can stay forward. Let's see. Let's bring this like little carrot stripe forward.
This is a cat bed?
Yeah, I bought it the other day thinking Fee, he's always wanting to lay in my projects. But of course I put catnip in it, wanting him to sleep in it, and he wouldn't.
He's gonna find the most unnatural.
Okay. Y'all, oh my gosh. I'll have to take a picture. Probably before I could get this all in the same footage. All right. So here it is. Well, I can't set it down because the bottom of my carrot touches. All right, so we got the carrot. We got our hint of green in them, and then we've got our bow. And the more I look at it, I feel like my bow needs to come up some more. Thank goodness these little pins come out so easy. I should have looked at it before I did all that. But y'all know what not to do. Don't pin it down till you make sure you've got it in the place you want. Okay. And I probably need to spread my bow out. I can actually make it bigger. I've still got it all scrunchy up. All right, so here we go. Hopefully I'll like this. I'm gonna put one pin in it and y'all tell me if y'all like it higher up like this. Love those foam squares, yes. All right, so see that, now it's higher. Still can't get it all in the screen, but I think I'm surely gonna like it a whole lot better. And then I wouldn't have had to put that extra greenery in there, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lose it. I'll still be able to keep it, but I've definitely got to cover this down here. But I can put this pin right here, and there we go. And put this one in here for my tails. Love that. When did you make the carrot? Carol, I wish I made that carrot, but I bought that carrot. What'd I say it was, like $12.99? It's actually meant, and I'll show you, to where you can just you can put things in it, and it could be just the wreath by itself. But for Easter, you know, you gotta, it's the first good like spring wreath you can do, so you gotta make it big. You gotta go all out. All right, so we're gonna make our wreath bigger, I mean our bow a little bit bigger. And I've got like a little, this polka dot ribbon's kind of been through it. So, y'all, I'm liking it. I mean, I probably could have put a little yellow in it, but just because I use just yellow right here, I think I can live with it. Because my bow is really neutral. I know I have that yellow, I mean the orange in there, but, you know, it's still, to me, kind of a neutral color sticking to what I had. All right, love that. When did you make it? Beautiful. How heavy does it feel? Not that heavy at all. I mean, I would say the only weight that's on it is the greenery. The bow, of course, doesn't weigh anything, and that one little styrofoam that we put, here, let me turn it to the side. The one styrofoam that we use is not heavy. The carrot is extremely light because you can almost see through this carrot. It is, It is really thin. It's made out of, it's not even, it's like twigs. The only weight to it is this greenery that we put on it. I mean, we put a good bit on it, but the forsythia is a light piece, and you know, we only put 6 little pieces of this, what was that, yellow heather on there, and the bow. I mean, the bow is really big. So you got to think most people will put a lot of flowers on there, and it's the silk flowers and the greenery that really put any weight. But it doesn't weigh anything because I'm going to put it on a command hook on my door. Outside, I do have an actual hook, but when I take the pictures for y'all, I always hang them on the real big command hook I have on the inside, and they don't ever fall off. Like Mimi's wreath was probably the same size, if not a little bit heavier. Just because, you know, her little Easter bunny probably weighed about the same thing because he had cloth on him and all that kind of good. So watching the replay, beautiful, looks great, beautiful. Put Easter eggs in your carrot. Oh, that would be really cute, especially the Easter eggs I have that I can take. Like maybe I can find some that, you know, I did like little robin's egg speckle on them. But thank y'all so much for watching. And okay, it's Thursday. So I will not see y'all until Sunday night. I'm going to take tomorrow and Saturday off. But, okay, tomorrow I know I have to do all that wedding stuff. So probably not tomorrow at all. I won't even be here probably during the daylight. But Saturday, I mean, we plan on like working in the yard Saturday, messing with our new tractor, planting our trees. But if it works out that Chris is doing more of the work on that tractor and I'm kind of just standing around, I may grab Mama's lighthouse and bring it out there and at least do the bottom part. Because Neely will be here and she kind of likes doing that stuff with me. Thank y'all so much, and I'm going to show y'all a picture. I wish y'all could see the entire thing. I love the bow. That's my favorite part. The entire thing, you know, on the door. And thank y'all so much for hanging with me this week. And next week we'll go back to doing like little crafts. And y'all, there may be some final little things that I make to put on my tiered tray in my kitchen for Easter, but maybe we'll start working on some other stuff because, you know, we've kind of carroted and bunnied and egged ourselves to death. But I know, and Sunday night, I got to do the giveaway for all this Easter stuff because I promised Julie that next Wednesday when she came, I would not have this big box out here. So I am going to do a giveaway Sunday night to get rid of some of this stuff, and I'll get it to you. But thank you so much, Martha. I hope we have fun on it. I hope we don't break it the first weekend. But y'all have a good weekend. It's supposed to rain tomorrow here. It'll be beautiful Saturday, hot, 86, and then rainy and hot Sunday. So we'll see. You never know in Georgia. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all Sunday.